Many of us dream of vacationing on beautiful islands far from civilization. However, there are some corners of land in the middle of the seas and oceans that are better off not being visited. Watch this video to learn about 5 of the scariest and most dangerous islands in the world.
Hello everyone, this is Look at This channel. Today we have a very interesting story to tell you. So, please subscribe to the channel, thumbs up, and let's go.
Queimada Grande. Queimada Grande, better known as Snake Island, is located in the Atlantic Ocean, 35 kilometers south of São Paulo. With an area of less than 43 hectares, this small piece of land has become famous as a habitat for a huge number of snakes, mostly venomous. There are no houses and no hotels on Snake Island, only a lone lighthouse that glows white in automatic mode. Snakes are the only inhabitants of the island. A person cannot walk 3 meters on this piece of land without meeting at least one reptile. The island is home to one of the most dangerous snakes on the planet, the spearhead island botrytis, which has one of the most terrible venoms. For example, mice or rats die in 5-10 seconds after being bitten by it. The Italian island of Poveglia. Between Lido and Venice is the Island of the Damned, Poveglia, which was so named because of its terrible past. In the Middle Ages, this place served as a quarantine zone for people infected with the plague. All those infected with the deadly disease were brought here. The dying people were burned en masse day and night, which is why stinking smoke constantly hovered over the eerie island. It is believed that between the 18th and 19th centuries, more than 160,000 people died and were buried on the island. But even a century later, the island suffered a sad fate. In 1922, a psychiatric hospital was built on Poveglia, which glorified the island with its inhumane conditions and cruel treatment of patients. There are an incredibly large number of reports of serious abuse, neglect, and barbaric medical procedures. Patients were beaten, tied up, and left in solitary confinement for long periods of time. That is why it is easy to understand why Poveglia is still considered one of the most horrific places on the planet. Many people believe that the spirits of the plague victims and patients who died in such cruel conditions are still on the island, as this place represents so much death and suffering.
Come in here! Oh my God!
And before we move on to the next scary island, we invite you to subscribe to our channel, turn on the bell, and give us a like. And we continue. Gruinard Island. A visit to the Scottish island of Gruinard, which has been used for biological weapons testing since 1942, is a deadly danger. 80 sheep were brought here, and then a bomb filled with anthrax spores was dropped on them from a bomber. The sheep died. Then biologists took skin samples and showed that anthrax can destroy entire cities due to its resilience and speed of spread. The tests on the island lasted until 1986. And after they were completed, scientists began the so-called cleaning of the territory. In 1990, they declared that Gruinard was absolutely safe to visit and reintroduced poor sheep to test it. All survived, but such statements did not inspire confidence among the Scottish population and tourists. Many scientists continue to argue that the island will remain dangerous for several hundred years, as it is simply impossible to completely destroy the remnants of anthrax on its territory. Ramree Island. In the west of Myanmar, Ramree Island is known for the huge number of crested crocodiles that live on its territory. Representatives of this species of reptiles are the largest terrestrial and coastal predators, and their males can reach 7 meters in length and weigh about 2 tons. However, Ramree Island is famous not just for the presence of these reptiles, but for the fact that during World War II they ate about 1,000 Japanese soldiers. In 1945, during a fierce battle on Ramree Island, the British amphibious assault lured the Japanese army into mangrove swamps inhabited by thousands of crested crocodiles. As a result, almost the entire 1,000-strong force was eaten by the hungry reptiles, and the British did not waste a single round or shell. The Guinness Book of World Records lists this event as the largest crocodile disaster in the world and the largest number of deaths from crocodile attacks. These events were even the subject of a feature film, The Battle of Ramrai Island, in 2021.
You telling me we're stuck on an island, surrounded by bleeding crocodiles?
North Sentinel Island. The inhabitants of North Sentinel Island in the Bay of Bengal in the Indian Ocean have been isolated from the outside world since time immemorial. They meet with arrows all those who try to get to the island and live as if it were the Stone Age. Its area is about 72 kilometer clusters. According to various estimates, the number of the tribe living on the island ranges from 50 to 400 people. The island was discovered at the end of the 18th century, but its existence was only remembered in 1867 when an Indian merchant ship was shipwrecked in these waters. When the 106 surviving sailors made it ashore, they were met by natives who were dissatisfied with the invasion. Only a nearby warship saved the crew from being killed. All further attempts to establish contact led to the same result. In 1981, the crew of the dry cargo ship Primrose, which ran into a reef near the island, narrowly escaped, and when the island was severely damaged by the tsunami in 2004, India sent a helicopter to check for survivors. The crew didn't have to land. The Sentinelese came to the coast and pelted the helicopter with a hail of arrows. It remains a mystery why the islanders are so warlike, do not make contact with other people, and do not allow anyone to step on their land. But an even bigger mystery is how long they will survive without the attention of developed civilizations. Which of these islands impressed you the most? Share your thoughts in the description, and watch even more interesting videos at these links.